Welcome, audience.
Yeah, we are back with a new episode of You Don't Love Giant Robots.
You don't. You don't. Not like us, at least.
You never did.
Never. You don't really know how much you don't love them until you heard this podcast.
You didn't answer their calls when they ran out of their insulin and they needed someone to drive them to the hospital. We are reviewing Bold Matsuri-Con, which just happened in Jacksonville. A pretty humble con, I'd say.
Well, it's one of the smaller ones because I've been to like some small-ish ones, but even Pensacon's bigger than this one.
We gotta paint a picture here.
All right.
So,
think of your
what cons have you been to?
Pensacon, MegaCon, My Hero Con. I've been to MegaCon twice.
My Hero Con?
My Hero Con.
Is it just for My Hero?
It's an anime convention, but the basis is around My Hero, but there's other anime stuff there too.
You know what? I'm for it.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, I've been to,
been to every. Well, you're a dinosaur, so you've been to
no. There's
con
no one
ever.
who's been to every con, dude. There's fucking Power Morphicons out there.
What the fudge?
There's fucking Decepticon. I think.
Hold on,
I'm dead serious. I'm dead fucking serious.
Did you just say there's a con named Decepticon?
I believe there's a Transformers con. There's.
We gotta go.
I'm saying, dude. I haven't even been to Dragon Con.
Dragon Con, I've heard about.
I know it's a big blank. It's a big blind spot in my nerdistry, but I've been to Anime USA. I've been to Otakon. I've been to A-Con. I've been to Baltimore Comic Con.
Baltimore Comic Con. Okay,
lovely one. And I've been, but see, Otakon. People who live in the Baltimore area, you go to Otakon like every year. You go to Anime USA like every year. I've been to Wasabi.
So is Otakon like Ichiro Oda? Is that what that's for? Or
no, it's Otaku-Con.
I heard Oda.
Yeah.
I kept hearing Oda. I was like, oh. I'm like, dang, One Piece has their own.
You know what?
Too?
As you say it, you might have breathed that into existence.
Hey, let's make it Otakon. Copyright.
Absolutely has to exist. But yeah. There's also Wasabi-Con.
Wasabi-Con's coming up in October, I think, right?
Yeah, I went to Wasabi-Con last year, and that's going to be the main focus of comparison here, because Wasabi-Con, I would say, was probably about 40% bigger than Bold Matsuri.
So they utilize the whole entire space,
spilling outside the stadium, even
spilling outside of the stadium. Okay.
But it was also raining.
Can't hold that into the stadium while it was spilling outside of the stadium.
Well, no. Bold Matsuri, it was raining. Wasabi-Con, it was not.
Okay. I thought you meant Wasabi-Con because we were talking Wasabi-Con. Yeah,
I flip that shit on you.
You flop flip. See, you even flop flip the flip flop.
Exactly. Keep them on their toes. Never let these women know what you're up to.
This guy's driving me insane, yo.
So, but as I go into Bold Matsuri with my heart, I didn't go in costume. Put on my Aizawa shirt, my hero. Shout out. And I go in with my heart aflutter.
Oh, a flutter.
First thing, $90 to get in cash
for two.
$90
to get in
for two.
Oh, for two.
I'm paying for two.
That made sense. I was like, dang.
I'm pregnant.
Taxing the mess out of you.
Keep in mind, I'm pregnant, so I'm drinking for two.
He's drinking for two. He's also smoking meth for two.
So we go in, and they're like $90 to get in, $108 if you're paying with card, and I'm like $18 search for.
Bro,
there was an ATM right next to them, and I was like, even on that, it's like a $3. I don't know. The point is, a little expensive.
Well, so if you got it online, because me and the boys that went got it online, and it was cheaper, I think.
Yeah, it's like what, $35 if you bought it like 6 months at a time or some shit.
Yeah, and then like the 2-day was $50.
Yeah, it's
a little expensive. A little expensive for how small the con was.
A little expensive for what it was. But so I go in, I see the vendors and stuff, and this is my experience with cons over the years. Well, you tell me yours, because I'm interested in you. Because you say I'm a dinosaur. I witnessed the meteor strike.
He did witness the dust is coming off of his head as we speak. So first con I went to was I want to say Pensacon, like back in 2017, 2018. And then My Hero Con 2019, MegaCon 2021, and then MegaCon again in 2022. I didn't go this year because I just moved, so I didn't really have time. But I think most cons I go to are pretty cool because they're pretty decently sized. This is like the smallest one I've been to, aside from like Pensacon when I first went.
So that was 2019 you said Pensacon?
Pensacon was 2017. Because it was like literally around the time Stranger Things just came out. Ooh. Because Caleb McLaughlin was there. He's one of the panelists.
Were they your, there's always intruders at a con.
Okay. What do you mean intrude? Oh, like,
Stormtroopers.
Stormtroopers.
I'm saying you walk in to a con and it's like, what is this? And it's like, this is TrekCon. This is a Star Trek convention. This is for people who love Star Trek. And it's like, let me pan my gaze over the horizon because I'm positive I'll see a fucking stormtrooper here. They're everywhere.
Honestly,
they come to everything. And
so the two, I'll say, you see stormtroopers a lot, and you see Deadpool cosplays a lot.
Dead.
At every single con, at every single one, you will see one or the other or both.
Honey, throw talcum powder in my Deadpool suit. I want it to be ready for the con.
It's like a law. It's like a law of like nature, where it's like, if there is a con going on within 20 feet, there must be a Deadpool and or a stormtrooper. So I think I did see a stormtrooper there. I saw a bunch of Deadpools. You always see a Deadpool at a con. I don't know what it is. No, because like the Deadpool cosplays are either they're really chill, they're really cool, or they're just jerks. They're just jerks. Just to be jerks.
They think it's like part of the bit.
That's what I'm saying. They really do. And like when you get aggravated, they're like, bro, it's just a joke. I'm like, you just punched my dad in the face and stole my wallet. That is a heck of a joke.
They're like, hey, I stole your chimichanga because Deadpool likes chimichangas. And it's like, I paid $18 for that, bro. I'm about to fucking knife you.
Yeah, right? I'm about to kidnap you and put you in my basement.
Oh, okay. First thing at the door for me. Made me put. They said I couldn't bring my knife in. 3 inches, floored illegal, not allowed to bring it in. I understand.
It's a private event, so that I understand that a little bit.
But this is what rang out for me. This is me being an old man.
You saw the swords?
This is me being an old man.
Saw the swords.
Because when I went to Otakon 2005, I distinctly remember a friend of mine purchasing a accurate Masamune, like Sephiroth sword. And that shit was made of metal and sharpened.
I'm hearing you, Nicholas. But let me say, do you realize the generation we live in? I'm just asking you the question.
I knew that the prevalence of plastic weapons had upticked, but it didn't. Like,
oh, so you must have went to the sword booth that had nothing but bro.
It didn't hit me.
I didn't buy jack there.
It did not hit me that you are not allowed to sell a real sword at a con anymore.
Wait, what? When did that start? Because I got my master sword. The master was like a dead sword, like a real sword.
It's a metal sword, right?
Yeah, I got that like 2019.
You could kill an asshole with it, right? Some dickhead who broke into your house, he'd be like, you're about to get done up.
If I sharpened it more, probably. I mean, I probably like cut him up a little bit.
You're about to get done up Hyrule style for trying to steal my catalytic converter, you piece of shit.
Wait, so you're telling me, when did that rule start?
Well, so wait. Every con I've been to in Jacksonville, maybe it's the shooting that happened at the landing. For listeners at home, there was a shooting in Jacksonville over an EA Madden tournament.
I remember when I saw that. That was during the pandemic. It was before the pandemic.
It was before the pandemic. It was like 2019, maybe 2018.
So it was, but I remember hearing that, and I'm like, man, Jacksonville's crazy.
Yeah, some guy dunked on another guy in a game of Madden, called him a bitch in front of everybody. And he went to
was it Madden or 2K?
It was sports ball. It was certainly sports ball. That's
guy
for
knows
sure.
the sports, yo.
And I used to run a football podcast. But the point is, maybe that's it. Because every con I've been to in Jacksonville, and you know what? I put this on you kids. Maybe I'm an asshole here.
No,
maybe it's a Jacksonville thing.
Yeah, it's a Jackson. Because like where my HeroCon was is like Northwest Florida, and that is the South. That everybody has a gun. Every kid rolls up to school with ammo in their truck. That is the South. So that's probably why it was kind of like.
So you bought a real sword.
Yes.
Okay, then so this is a strike on Bold Matsuri then.
Or the
Osborne Convention Center.
I'll have to see, because I know if you get a real sword at MegaCon, you can't have it out.
You gotta take it straight to your hotel room.
Yeah, because you can't take it out of the box. It was the same way at my HeroCon as well, but I don't know. I don't know if because the last con I went to was MegaCon in 2022.
If anyone from Bold Matsuri is hearing this, real swords next time.
Because there's some
huge
places,
mark against them.
There are places that have the real swords, quote unquote, but not very many. Because you must have missed it. Because you probably saw the booths that had like the foam swords and the plastic ones.
I saw the katanas, but the katanas I swear were made of wood.
Yes. So you went to that, but there was a booth with real swords like adjacent to that, but it was really small. Comparative, like the booth with like the fake fushigi swords.
Okay,
was the bigger.
You're saying I couldn't have bought like Cloud's Buster sword and killed someone in the parking lot with it?
I mean, maybe online,
because that's a risk that I take to get out there and see.
Yeah, they did have real swords, but it wasn't much of a selection because there's a website you can get them from, which is what we end up pulling up. And we're like, oh, we can get these and better ones for cheaper. But there wasn't a lot of real swords there, yeah.
But so pivoting from that, I guess, did any vendors tickle your fancy?
Kawaii, I think it's Kawaii Collections. Let me look this up.
Kawaii?
I'm not Japanese, so I don't care.
I'm not saying it. I don't know if I'm saying it right.
No, you know what?
We won World War II, so I don't have to.
Correct my Japanese grammar. All right, how you say it?
I think it's Kawaii.
Okay. Kawaii Creations had some of the best things for the price at the con, in my opinion.
Yeah, prices were kind of all over the place.
They were, because you'd find one where they'd have a shirt for like $30 for one shirt, and then you find a place like Kawaii Creations. The shirts are like $8. No, the shirts are like $10, $15, but they were decent shirts. Look at these shirts. So you see that material right there? That's reflective.
Yeah, okay, yes, but this is an audio medium, so we won't do this to our fan base.
Okay,
but
all right,
those are nice shirts. I will confirm
okay,
those are nice looking shirts.
Next podcast, I will wear one of the shirts to show you guys.
Yes, but we're not shouting them out here without any money, so we will.
I think
we will bleep them out, and we will put in an ad for.
Welcome. So, hi guys, what's going on? This is a podcast. It's Zeke.
Is that even there anymore?
We just have the really fast, long-winded David Dobrik SeatGeek sponsorship.
So I saw some vendors. I got some fixins and wares, but is staying on this like the change of cons over the years thing, because this is the other thing that stood out most to me. This was the thing I had to explain to my girlfriend because it was her first con that she'd ever been to.
Yeah, you did mention that.
When I was growing up, you could not just buy like a Vash the Stampede outfit. You could not just go to cowboybebop.com and buy.
You had to make that yourself.
Yeah, and so I missed the rise of the like Kingdom Hearts wig, like the snap-on. Not even trying to like when I was going to cons back in the day, you would meet a guy whose hair looked like Goku, but that was like his hair.
That's what he did. Yeah,
he like did it. You'd meet a guy who looked like Sephiroth, and he's like, dude, it was like 6 bleach cycles to get my hair this way.
I literally had to find these contacts in China and then ship them to Russia and then ship them back to Japan just to get them here. Yeah.
And so like, and I want to point out the Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy people because I do think they are the most.
Kingdom Hearts.
I think they're the most egregious with.
You talking about the cosplayers?
You will see a guy with a helmet of hair, just like a thing, clearly. Is the assembled?
Is the issue like the amount of effort that they put in? Is it really that? Because I will say there are a lot of cosplays you see where you're like, bro, you didn't even try. Like you didn't even try. You just put that on.
It looks less like a haircut because to me that's the allure of cosplay. Is you see someone and you're like, damn, that's what Sakura Haruno would look like in real life. Like for real though. Like I've seen an Inuyasha. I saw Guts at a convention and I was like, that looks like Gut. That's fucking.
Oh, dude was like 6'8".
It's the sword of the Berserk.
He was like 6'8".
He was young Guts.
Okay.
It's on my Instagram actually, but yeah, I was like, this is a really good. Like, if this is what he'd look like in real life.
But you did. There were some good ones though.
And so when you see the ones where it's like you look like someone cut out the picture. And then like brought it into you can see this in the gradations of the Hatsune Mikus. Because there will always be
always that one chick that just has the wig on and nothing else that has to do with Hatsune. Look, I'm a giant Miku fan. Okay, Miku is mommy. Real niggas listen to Hatsune Miku in middle school and told no one.
You're gonna get this
and told no one.
YouTube's gonna come at us for this content being too sexual, bro.
Oh my! It's just look, Vocaloids are cool, but because you know what I'm talking about though. You just see them where they just have like just the Hatsune Miku wig on with an outfit that has nothing to do with Hatsune Miku, and you're just like, bro, you didn't even try.
There's always the least effort costume, and I personally was thankful when My Hero gave low-level anime fans the dignity of the sports exam outfit.
Oh, that's true.
Like they really threw them. They really threw the guys like the casuals. They really threw them a bone with that one.
I will say,
and but the Miku,
that's the most egregious one. No, look at me. Why? Because don't even put the wig on. Burn it. Burn the wig. Give it to me.
You have to be a certain level of anime fan to even realize that Hatsune Miku is not like for anime fans.
No, Hatsune
Just
Miku
is like a thing.
Hatsune Miku is for the people who got made fun of for watching anime and then kept it to themselves for the rest of their life. That's who it's for.
But yeah, lots of My Hero, lots of Final Fantasy, obviously. A little too much Chainsaw Man. And listen, let me throw this out here. Let me say this as a disclaimer.
I'm disagreeing with you.
Guys,
I'm rocking with
Chainsaw Man. Is the manga done?
No,
it's not done yet.
No, I think the part 2 started like last year or something like that.
Guys, Chainsaw Man, and this is me being older. This is me not being blinded by love. I get it. You guys are in love. You got flowers in your fucking hair and butterflies in your heart. Chainsaw Man could still fuck us.
What?
Chainsaw Man still has plenty of time to fuck us.
You talking about what the ending?
I'm saying it could do. Did you see? Have you seen Promise Neverland, man? Have you seen
anime? That's the anime.
No,
the anime.
I'm talking about the whole enchilada.
The manga's bad too.
To me, but I think.
Oh, we got a dinosaur over here, yo.
I'm saying there's still plenty of time to fuck us right in the ass.
You think they could have,
and when I'm at this convention and like 25% of the show floor is like, yeah, we all love Chainsaw Man, and I'm like, I like Chainsaw Man. I'm super hopeful of what Chainsaw Man's doing. I like Denji. I like the conceit. I bought a Pochita hat. But guys, I am witnessing an entire generation of Zoomers slide all their chips across the table as if
let me ask you a question.
If the Naruto 5 Shinobi War arc never happened.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you think because you're so old and decrepit and you're ancient that you just
got
jaded?
Flies coming out my dick?
Exactly. You're just jaded to the fact that there could be an anime that's really good that everybody loves, like Attack on Titan. Perfect example.
I'm a hype train on AOT. I'm on the hype. I'm on the Chainsaw Man hype train. I'm on the My Hero hype train.
It doesn't seem like you are, though.
I'm on the train, but I'm fully aware that outside of JoJo's, which is perfect, and no part of it can ever hurt any other part.
Part 1.
Part 1 of JoJo's is the best part. He kills the dog, episode 1, and you're like, that's a bad guy.
Well, okay, so I think the part where I said he was a bad guy, he kissed this man's girl
He's
in
a bad
front
guy.
of him. In front of him for no reason.
Dio's
player hater of the year.
He's a bad guy. I don't see how you could say I'm saying
part 1 is the hardest to watch.
No part of JoJo's is capable of hurting any other part of JoJo's. We won't get Star Wars. We won't get Star Wars sequel trilogy.
Wait. I'll stop you right there. What about Araki Forgot? What about all the times Araki forgot?
No, he didn't forget. You read wrong.
No, now you're being stupid. Because there are certain things people have brought up with him in interviews where he was like, "Yeah, I didn't think about that."
He's feelings, man. He's vibes. He's the heat of the moment. No. I'm not gonna back up.
What about the part in part 3 where?
This is
hold on.
I will not have you litigate the Bible.
We're litigating this right now.
I will not have you litigate the Bible on this show.
What about the part in part 3 where Joseph uses Hamon? And then it's never talked about ever again. Not even retconned away. They just don't talk about it anymore.
Because he doesn't need it, and he's an old man.
But why do they not even mention? They don't even mention anything.
Like
he's tired. when he's fighting Dio, he uses Hamon.
Because he's tired, dude.
No, dude, no. Now you're just making excuses.
Oh, are you constantly like, so if you can skateboard, are you skateboarding everywhere? You skateboard into McDonald's?
That's not what I'm talking about. That's
you
not even close
down
to
the
what
hallway.
I'm talking about.
He's got the Hamon.
Look,
he uses it when he wants
this
to.
This is what old people do. They forget what they're talking about. They start talking about something else.
You're mad that he's got the Hamon in his back pocket, but he's not using it all the time?
And my issue is, right, he doesn't use it anymore. Stands are introduced. I love stands. But it's never really explained narratively why it's never even mentioned again. It's never used again. It just disappears.
You take Spanish in high school, dude, and then you have a few years off and you're not speaking Spanish anymore. Like, I don't get what the issue is. Joseph Joestar is a perfect character. I don't know what you're trying to do to the narrative here. To what we got going on here.
I'm not talking about, look, Joseph Joestar is my favorite Joestar, okay? We're not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that there are certain things in the plot that Araki will introduce and then never talk about again. Like Starfinger. Your Starfinger. Why is that never used again? That would have been so useful in the fight with Dio.
Doesn't come up.
Why?
Because he can stop time.
Because he forgot.
He didn't forget.
He forgot. Araki forgot.
You are crazy.
In part 4, he could have used Starfinger for that little rat thing.
Yeah, but he didn't need to.
He was getting pieced up.
He needed to
He almost died.
It was about Josuke's
arc.
arc.
Bleeding out.
It was Josuke's time.
I refuse.
You sound like you are on PCP that you got from Philadelphia. I cannot believe what I'm hearing.
Look, I love JoJo. I think JoJo is one of the best anime that I've seen in my lifetime. But I'm not stupid enough to believe that JoJo has nothing wrong with it. There aren't things narratively.
Yeah, JoJo has something wrong with it, and it's right in front of me. Anyway, back to Bold Matsuri.
Wait, we're getting way off topic.
The point is, when you construct a helmet out of hair, it is no longer hair, it is a hair-based object. And some of the costumes are getting a little out of the package for me at these events.
So I'll agree with you because there are... So as someone who knows people who cosplay seriously, who have accounts and stuff like that, I think you probably know some people too. You're pretty...
people who do it seriously. Don't fuck around about it,
Well,
man.
they get like sponsorships and stuff
They're
like that.
in the dirt. They're hitting anvils with hammers. They're like...
They're out here taking the real pictures in front of the creeps. No, but...
This isn't cosplay. This is real.
There's a lot of people I know who have cosplay accounts who cosplay seriously with like thousands of followers, and they get sponsorships, and they actually do this, and they're serious about it, right? And it does take away from the art a little bit, where there's a lot of people that dilute it by having these costumes that kind of suck. And I'm not gonna say like some people are broke. I used to be broke. Okay, like making a cosplay that looks good is a lot of money. I will say.
There's that like Filipino dude on Instagram or whatever who makes his $10 cosplays. He's there to shut up. You don't know the cheap cosplay dude?
No.
Oh, okay. Hold up. You keep talking. I'm looking this up while you're talking.
But it's like it takes away from the art of what makes cosplay good, right? Because when you see somebody in a cosplay that's really dope, and you're like, oh wow, and it looks so accurate to the character, you wonder how they did it. That's the art of it, where it's like they get it so close to what they're trying to replicate, and it's so they care so much about that is like the beauty of cosplay, right? And there's so many people that will like dilute it by just having these costumes that just suck, which I agree with. What he was talking about just now, I agree. There are a lot of costumes that really just are bad. I'm just like, bro, this is a terrible cosplay, right? But yeah, I don't know. It's a very interesting subject. I will say that.
It's weird because all of anime is essentially gatekeeping. It's all.
I think if we gatekeep more, anime would be better. I think the community would be better. I think we should do more gatekeeping, stronger gatekeeping.
Oh no.
Gatekeep harder. What is it? Kick out? Got taken down.
It sucks because Reddit's in a state of internal war.
Oh, with everybody shutting down the subreddits, and they're like, if you do that, we'll just replace you. It's like a bunch of Reddit war is going crazy, y'all.
And but there's this guy. The real ones know who I'm talking about. He's this very cheap cosplayer. All of his outfits are like under $10. They're literally like made.
You gotta send me this dude though, because I did not believe you. I'm calling cap.
I'm going to actually just look up because I feel like he has the top post of, like, the entire sub of all time.
All right, how long does it take an old man to find something on Reddit? Let's figure it out.
Oh, no. Everything's bad. Everything's bad. Everything's bad.
What?
Everything's bad. I don't know. Whatever. I'm going to cut this part of it out.
You should cut the part out where you said that there's nothing wrong with JoJo, too. You should cut that part out, too.
You're crazy. But... So the cosplayers, I mean, I've encountered, here's the thing, because I asked my girlfriend, I'm like, do you want to get into cosplay? Because I'm a pervert, and you have to.
Clip that.
And she's like...
Clip that.
Clip that. Hey, ice runner. I'm not even going to get into what I used to run. But... She was like, well, I'm really worried about being seen as like a poser. And I'm like, it's true because my girlfriend kind of looks like Sakura Haruno.
Yeah, I can see that.
She looks like...
if she dyed her hair pink, it'd be one-to-one.
Yeah, she looks very similar to her. Or not Sakura, Asuka from... for Asuka Haruno. I'm mixing up my Harunos.
Wait, Asuka Haruno from
Evangelion? Yes. Yeah, my girl looks kind of like her. She's got ass-length hair and the similar like shape and everything, and so she's like, yeah, but I'd be worried about being seen as a poser, and I'm like, yeah, I had an experience like that at Wasabi-Con. I saw a woman dressed like 2B, and I went up to her, and then I said, like, excuse me, miss, did you have like a transformative life melding experience where you were like reduced to a shell of your former self, and now like every flap of a bird's wings almost reduces you to tears? And she's like, I was paid to be here.
Oh my God! See, that's why we need to gatekeep more.
No, but it's like it's entirely like within reason that 90% of people who dress up like 2B don't feel.
No, 2B. I mean, 2B is a pretty popular character. Granted, I will give you that for people who don't watch anime.
I mean, hell, I'm planning on cosplaying as Kenshin, and I'm very much like, don't think the things you think about this series now.
I'll still say it's good.
Think what I thought about this series when I fell in love with it. Don't think about what people think now when they think
people
about
think now
this
is like I can't blame them, but I think it's still a great show.
But and this happened to me. A guy came up. Oh shit. Well, hold up. You spoke of your favorite vendor. My favorite vendor had to have been.
Wait, no, I gotta hear this now.
No, I'm gonna get into this story.
Okay.
I'm gonna get into this story, but I need to set everything up because it's like it happened later on in the day, and I want to just finish talking about the vendors.
Okay. So,
while we're on the vendors, we're off the cosplayers. The cosplayers were good. There was some good ass ones there.
There was a berserker suit that I saw from what the heck, Berserk.
The berserker
I was
suit
like,
from
what the heck? I was like, why am I blanking on this?
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty dope.
Yeah, I saw a let me see here.
There was a Miracle from My Hero that I thought was crazy good.
Oh. Did you see the booth with all of the gay My Hero characters
Dog!
making out?
What?
I'm going to put a picture right here.
No, do not put a
my
picture.
God.
Those are minors. Those are mine. I don't even care that it's gay. Those are children.
6 foot by 5 foot photo of Bakugo getting like
railed.
Given it by Todoroki.
Getting railed by Todoroki. And it was weird.
I was laughing.
We saw that and we all like started cracking up because I was like I wouldn't care if it was just like if somebody drew like a bunch of JoJos. Like, if they drew, like, Jotaro and, like, I don't know, was it, like, Dio doing... that would be kind of weird, though. It'd be weird, but it'd be less weird than if it was a bunch of kids. Like, I thought it was weird. I was like, this is crazy. You putting a picture up right now?
Yeah, I'm going to put up this picture from a Chainsaw Man cosplay that I saw. This guy was a badass.
Oh, that's actually really... Oh, that's
just can't
really
argue
dope.
with it. He and his girl, they were...
they killed it.
They were doing it up. Probably
it.
the best one I saw while I was there. But yeah, but moving on from the horny as fuck vendor, or going back to the vendors, I was getting annoyed by the pricing of things. I bought a beanie for $25.
Dang.
I saw that's like not the same beanie, but a similar beanie for like $45 around the corner. Didn't make sense to me.
No, yeah, there's a lot of stuff we saw at different vendors and stuff like that were different prices, and they were the same thing.
Yeah, okay, that's the other thing. The prevalence of a Chinese factory made all of this stuff and we all bought it and now we're distributors. I'm not saying everything was handmade when I was going to cons back in the day, but a little bit. The biggest example is the Funko Pop people. They should be shot.
I had an experience with a Funko Pop, dude.
7 or 8 vendor booths on this floor were just identical
Funko Pops. And there were different prices. There was one I saw for like $80. I go to another booth, $35. I was about to throw something.
A genuine waste of floor space.
Yes.
Absolutely. Funko Pop people, they have no... I get it. You're there for the collectible ones that are from Japan that they only made 300 of them.
I actually used to talk to somebody who was obsessed with Funko Pops, and apparently the Funko Pop distribution, like the Funko Pop community, is crazy.
Like, I'm not gonna actually come down on the Funko Poppers.
So I wouldn't do that if I were. You could do that if you want to, but
no, because they're not
Funko Poppers. He hates you. That's what he said.
Is that what they're called? Is that what they call themselves?
I have no clue.
But the Funko Poppers, they aren't bad people. I understand the novelty of like
the sellers are bad.
No matter what you're into, there is a Funko Pop for it.
Yeah.
It's like what about like I'm not really into sci-fi, but I really was into like this one season of Stargate or something. It's like they got a Funko Pop
Pops for artists too.
So I understand Funko Pop being like we're like the inflection point of all of your hobbies, where you could have a Marvel Funko Pop, a Disney Funko Pop, a fucking anime Funko Pop. I just think it's a little despicable because it feels like the McDonald's of fan bases. It feels like
in what way?
It's in GameStop. It's in like random. It's there for everyone. It's there. If you want to collect things, to me, the inherent weirdness of being a collector is the novelty of what you're collecting. You're collecting bizarre trinketry that you think that it's like, to me, I'm very much what makes it special. What makes what you're doing special. And a lot of that is really the emotions you tie to it and shit. Like, we're all wearing My Hero shirts and acting like they're different, as if they're not all the fucking same. The Sword Art fans are all like, oh, my shirt's different. I get it. And that's why I can't logistically, even though I want to emotionally come down on the Funko Poppers, I have to acknowledge that from a, like, sophistic point of view there, or a Socratic point of view, I hate the words I'm using right now, but from that point of view, they are more like me than
you want to realize. Is that why you don't like them so much? Because they remind you so much of yourself?
It just feels like entry-level fandom.
Okay, so I will say that I think we should be a little nicer to entry-level fans, because I know, it used to be toxic if you were an entry-level fan. People were a lot meaner than they are now, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's a lot more accepting now, but it's like you can't be that person that was mean to you when you were entering into, you know.
Yeah, I mean, now we stopped tarring and feathering the women, and we stopped.
We should bring that back.
We stopped stalking the women, and we stopped.
Wait, hold on.
Wait.
We stopped stalking? I thought.
Well, we still demand that if they have a boyfriend, they like downplay it and pretend to be virgins and stuff.
All right, cool. I was talking.
But we dialed it back. And I think we deserve a lot. I think the women owe us a lot of praise for that.
I am not involved with anything he is saying whatsoever. Disconnect me from what he just said.
We didn't have to stop being pieces of shit.
Back in my day, we could harass all the women we wanted.
We made it easy for you.
Oh my goodness! No. Somebody's gonna clip that out of context. It's gonna be so amazing.
No, the anime fans are wretched. So this is actually getting into the thing I was saying. So the vendor, I see this guy.
Oh, that's hard.
Hard Gengar. I'm walking around and I see all the prints. $40 prints, $50 prints, and I'm like, guys. I was at Wasabi-Con last year. I met Naruto. I don't know how big some of you fuckers think you are, but I met Patty Finnegan, Naruto. I didn't pay $35.
Did you get her to say believe it?
No, first thing she said at the beginning of the con, let me put this down, was, hey guys, I know there's a lot of kids here, because she looked at her line that was going out the door. It looked like it was a line to get the cure for cancer. It was so long. It looked like Patty Finnegan had figured out how to end diabetes. It was such a long line to get to her. And she said at the beginning, guys, please don't make me do lines. Otherwise, I'm going to be saying sexy no jutsu all day. I just don't have my vocal cords can't handle it.
I started laughing.
They can't handle it. First kids who show up in her line, 10 years old, and they're like, do it. And she's like, believe it. And I'm like, oh, shit. She literally begged. She begged. This woman who has more money than anyone here begged us not to make her do this. But that's what it is. But so, yeah, Patty Finnegan was $35 or so last year, and she was the biggest name at the con. You could also meet Yor from Spy Family, Zenetsu, or I hung out with Kira Buckland, Jolene
You did
Cujo.
talk about that, yeah.
Hung out with her for half an hour, which is where a lot of my contention comes for this con. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Cast was there. Not the OG Yu-Gi-Oh!
5Ds was there.
Tristan Taylor, Joey Wheeler, and My Valentine were there. Mm-hmm. I was like, rest my beleaguered heart. Oh my God, I can't believe this. I walk up to that table. Keep in mind, I'm looking over my shoulder. My girlfriend's like, who are these people? And I'm like, well,
they're legends, but you'll find out soon.
That's the voice actor for Stained, honey.
How do you not know who this is?
That's Annie's voice actor, also the voice of Sailor Uranus. Walked up to her.
The voice, Mikasa's voice actor was there too.
Yeah, I was like, baby, these people are basically royalty right now. We can't touch them. So I walk up to Sailor Uranus, no line, empty booth. I'm like, surely she's pretty cheap. She's Annie Leonhardt, in AOT, but it's like, ma'am, you're 8th billing in AOT, and I look, but I'm like, I want to get a picture of Sailor Uranus so I can send it to my brother to be like, I can't believe this happened. And I look, $50 prints. I walk a little bit down. I see Joey Wheeler's booth.
Was it 85 or something like that?
And my girlfriend's like, don't you want to meet him? And I was like, baby, maybe Yugi, maybe Kaiba.
If Kaiba was there, I would have met him.
Maybe if Kaiba. But I was like, baby, the fact that Joey Wheeler thinks he's worth $50 of irony. Of fucking irony, because that's what it would be. It would be, isn't it fucking kind of funny that I met Joey Wheeler? Isn't it a little silly that I met Tristan Taylor? No one's waking up and begging for this experience. The audacity. to ask me for 5 more than Naruto?
How dare you?
For the sidekick's
How
sidekick? Are you kidding me? I had to look over my shoulder, and she's like, well, don't you want to talk to him? I'm like, honey, that's the voice of the armored titan. We can't afford to even fucking look in that direction.
So I think the only panel...
I make okay money.
Yeah.
Like,
not $50 to meet someone money.
Not $50 for a haha joke.
Yeah.
Like,
that is kind of ridiculous. So there's a lot of like certain people I'll understand if their meeting price is pretty high. Like I remember Caleb McLaughlin's like when we went was something like 70, but that makes sense. 'Cause that was like the height of like Stranger Things. Stranger Things was like the #1 thing on Netflix at that point in time.
Yeah, I was at Halloween Horror Nights when season 4 dropped, and it was crazy.
Yeah, so that makes a little more sense. But Joey Wheeler, really? I didn't even like his character.
Dude, you were dignified by the abridged series. Come on, man. Like, no. I lost my shit. Because I was like, I hung out with Kira Buckland. I hung out with Jolene Cujo. I didn't get an autograph. I took pictures with her. She chilled with me. We talked about the fact that Bayonetta's voice actor was in hot water because of stuff that was going down with We hung out for like half an hour, and when I saw that she was also 2B, I said, I'm going to cry. How much for this print? And she said, I don't know, $20? And she was Jolene Cujo. Stone Ocean was hitting Netflix at that exact moment.
That's crazy.
Joey Wheeler asked me for $50.
Was it when did 5Ds come out? Was it like 13 years ago?
I will say my homie Jeremy rolled up to the con with a bunch of his Yu-Gi-Oh cards. He spent like $20, got the entire cast to sign a bunch of them. And I was like, smart man, should have brought my own shit. I'm an idiot. Regret it.
So is that why you're really angry?
Old man filled with regret over here. So I'm leaving though the booth, and I'm like, here's the two things that happen. We see Brina Palencia, voice of Mineta, best character in My Hero. Also
best character in My Hero.
Also
We're
voice
back
of
to that after this.
Tony Chopper. And my girlfriend's like, what's up with that line? And I'm like, oh, do you know who that moose is? And she's like, no. And I'm like, well, look around. Do you see? Because #1 item at the vendors there, that Chopper Moose bucket hat.
Oh, I saw that.
Easily top seller at the venue.
How much was that?
It was like $15. I saw that shit ever. I should have got one, dude. I saw them everywhere. Like she was like, "What's with all the moose hats everywhere?"
Can you wear hats?
Yeah, I can wear a bucket hat. I can wear a Chopper bucket hat.
Can it fit?
Yeah.
Sure, it won't fall off.
But so. I was like, she's the reason all these people are wearing bucket hats. And she's like, oh. And I was like, yeah, she's like, she's 5th billing on the biggest thing that's ever happened in the history of like art. And she's I'm like,
yeah, as much as I have my critiques about One Piece, I will admit it is the biggest anime.
It's undeniable. And so we're walking past, and there's a guy in the line, and he's like, dude, are you here to meet Brina Palencia? And I'm like, that's kind of a loaded question to ask someone. Yeah. But you clearly are. And he's like, I like your Aizawa shirt. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And I'm trying to give my girl the con experience. I'm like, yeah, you meet weirdos. You say, like, nice shirt. And then you
act like you're cool, and you're like, oh.
You make friends.
Right.
Like, whenever I go to cons alone, I always end up hanging out with weirdos for, like, a huge length of time.
I'm the weirdo people end up hanging out with.
Because I normally go alone, and so she's there. I'm trying to. This guy's like, yeah, dude, I had to meet Brina. I came here earlier and I got to talk to her for a bit. And I was like, that's really cool, man. Yeah, I wanted to meet her too because Mineta's like my boy. And he's like, I loved her as Yuno Sagai in Future Diary.
Yuno Gasai?
I've never seen Future Diary.
You've never seen?
Don't hold up now. Hold up. So he's going on, and he's like, dude, Yuno Gasai is my profile pic on like every platform. She like changed my life, and I'm like, okay, dude.
Hold up before you finish. That nigga has mommy issues.
Give me the skinny then.
That nigga has mommy.
Give me the
issues.
Yuno Gasai skinny.
Yuno Gasai is the craziest waifu of all time, and I love it.
Okay, so this guy, Ian, he says to me, like, yeah, dude, she changed my life. And I'm like, it's a little bit of a crazy sense, but you know what? I met Kira Buckland here last year, and I literally dropped that exact shit on her. I was like, listen, man, I know you might not care, but there's some lines to be had in Nier that, like, I think about every time I open my eyes and every time I contemplate my death before I go to sleep. And I know that's a lot, but also, what do you think about Bayonetta, you know? So my girlfriend's there like, okay, yeah, these cons are filled with Lear. And then he says, like, I got to get one-on-one time with her.
Oh, God.
And that was when things took a turn. He was like, I spoke to her earlier today, but I got to get in touch with her again. Like, she meant so much to me. And I'm like, my eyes are widening. They're getting to the size of dimes now. I'm like, my pupils are dilating. He's like, she doesn't understand how much she meant to me.
So you get the real con experience.
So, yeah. And so I'm like, all right, well, dude, that's cool. And we start walking away. And I'm telling him, I'm like, we need to tell Brina Palencia's security.
We need to warn her
that
now.
She needs to maybe move where her car is parked in the parking lot.
Bro, that's the weird part.
It was when he said, I've already met her, but I need one-on-one time.
What do you mean by that? What are you doing one-on-one?
What can't happen on the show floor, dude? In front of her boyfriend and her security.
Oh my God, dude. See, that's the thing that gets me, because it's like, I'm a huge anime fan, and I will say I probably was at that level when I was like 12 years old, right? But it's like once you get past a certain age, it's like, dude, you gotta grow up.
Ian's mid-20s, easily mid-20s, full beard.
Oh gosh, dude. We were talking about something similar earlier. We can talk about this after, but bruh. Bro, I got no words. I'm sorry.
It's funny stuff. But yeah, so I'm outraged by all the prints. I'm walking around. I'm hurt. I'm like, I can't afford shit here, and I make good money, which doesn't piss me off that much because I go to a con, I get like one trinket, and I'm like, I have the memories.
Yeah, I bought way too much stuff. I'm gonna be honest.
I never buy. Because you want to buy 100 things at a con, so I always say, don't do that. Photography taught me this. You want to take 1,000 photos, and it's like, take the 25 that matter. And so it's like I go to a con, and I'm like, I will get I'll get something to hang on the wall and something to put on my keychain or a hat. It's basically that. I get a shirt, a hat, a keychain, or a picture.
Actually remember.
And I'm walking around, and I'm like, everything here is so fucking expensive. And then I see a guy. I'm actually balancing a camera on a chair to try to take a picture of me and my girlfriend. This guy walks up, and he's like, I can take that picture for you, man. I've seen you struggling over here. And he takes a picture for me, and I'm like, thanks, dude. And he's like, yeah, dude, I work over at this Pokemon booth if you need anything. And I'm like, oh, really? I was like, how much are your prints, man? Because I've been getting my dick kicked in.
Did you actually say that to him?
Yeah. I was like,
that does sound like something. That sounds like something you would say.
And he's like, oh, dude, they're $20, but for you, I'll do 10. And I was like, $10?
You should have
$10.
You should have kissed him right there.
And I was like,
I would have kissed him.
I said, do you have? I looked at his prints, and he was like, I have these. And I was like, you have an Entei? And he's like, I have an Entei. And I was like, but do you? And he's like, I have ones that aren't here, that aren't shown here.
What a
and I
bro.
said, do you have an Arcanine? And he wordlessly reached under the counter and slid this across.
Oh my goodness, audience, look at this.
$10.
$10. What? Wait.
For a holographic
see it on his camera.
Arcanine.
That's dope. That's dope.
A 14x11 holographic Arcanine. 10 bones. Threw in the Gengar for another 10. I was like, bro, I'm breaking a 20, dude. And I was like, cons are alive. They're back, baby. The ups, the downs, the weirdness, the terror.
I had a similar thing at Kawaii Creations because I was buying like a lot of their stuff. Like I was drinking the Kool-Aid. I love that booth. I was like, because I was thinking about buying another tote because I bought a tote from them that had a Jujutsu Kaisen character, and it's actually really dope. And I was like, oh, this is cool, right? Machine washable, safe, cool. There was another tote they had. I'm like, I was debating. I'm like, should I get the Berserk tote? Probably not. I already have enough. I shouldn't get it, right? And they saw me contemplating this, and I'd already sent people to their booth. Because people would ask me about my tote, and they'd be like, where'd you get that? I'm like, oh, I went over at this booth over there.
You also, with anime stuff, you have to, like, worry about consolidation. You don't want to become, like, a Back to the Future guy, you know, where you got, like, a toy DeLorean, and you've got, like, a hoverboard, and you got the shoes and shit. So you never want to be, like, you're like, I like a lot of things. Like, I don't want to come to the cons and buy, like, 20 things from one show.
Right. But what ended up happening was they just gave me a free one. Because they're like, well, you know what? We like your energy. We appreciate the fact that you let people over here. And they just gave me the bag. I was like, I love you.
That's it. That's what's up.
Cons are back.
They are back. The pandemic's over.
Woo!
We beat it. Is there anything?
USA.
But I'll tell you what, that con inflation is real. I'm not.
That's actual inflation. Like, because a lot of stuff that I saw there, I saw at previous cons for like way less, and I'm like, dude, this is getting crazy. Like, this is getting ridiculous.
If I got some tips for Bold Matsuri next year, if if you're listening to this, which you should be if you're not a fucking fuck up, is bigger diversity of stuff. Like, I love My Hero. I love Chainsaw Man.
But that's all
I love
had.
One Piece, but guys, I don't love One Piece. Let me roll that back. Before a real one rolls up in the comments and fucks my shit up. What happened after the fucking Baroque Works arc? And I'm like, I don't know what happened.
What are the 5 words Shanks has said in the entire series?
What is Wano Kugi or whatever? I don't know. I'm fucking no man. But yeah, that you can see the kind of terror in some of the vendors' eyes. Where they're like, you like Ghibli? You a Ghibli fan? You enjoy Ghibli? And it's like, Ghibli's for kids.
Okay, well.
Ghibli's for kids.
Depends on what movie we're talking about.
Disney.
It depends on what movie we're talking about.
Other than Valley of the Wind, Ghibli is for kids.
Tales of the Fireflies.
No one's just sitting around watching that. That's like a spectacle. That's like barely a movie. That's like people... You watch Schindler's List once, maybe twice to prove a point. You're never saying, let's pop in Schindler's List.
I'll say there's a lot of Studio Ghibli movies I still like. I think
you can...
But I understand the critique because it is a Disney of Japan and it's very child.
It's just a lot of floor space dedicated to it. And I get it. But, like, guys, it is odd to me that there's more breadth of anime than has ever been, and I feel the cons have become less diverse year over year. It's more My Hero and more Shield Hero.
You think it's Shield Hero? I didn't see one Shield Hero.
I saw some Raphdalias there.
I didn't see one. I did not see not one.
But you see the Evangelion stuff. You see the...
There was...
honestly, not a lot of Dragon Ball or Naruto at this one. First con...
Weren't a lot of black people. I'm sorry. You put that out.
You don't gotta apologize to these filthy animals.
There was a... What was it? Oh, my goodness. High school... Or Rosario Vampire. I saw Rosario Vampire.
I didn't even know what to look for.
Oh, you never seen Rosario Vampire?
No.
Dang.
A lot of Darling in the Franxx. But you can never trust Darling in the Franxx because it's such a simple cosplay, pink wigs, red horn, that it's like, you don't know if someone's doing it because... Because it's like, I get it.
I like Darling in the Franxx until the last 5 episodes. I will say that. It kind of cucked you at the last part.
But, yeah. So, a bit more diversity of stuff. Cheapen that shit. Ticket should have been $20 less. That was a $25 con, not a $45 con. And listen, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Matt Bellamy from Muse. I don't care if you're Yoko. No, I would probably empty my wallet for Yoko Taro. But like, I don't care if you're the corpse of Miura revived doing a signing of Berserk. You ask me to break a $50 bill at it for anything, for a what is ostensibly a hello, for like a cameo in real life. I will spit in your fucking face. I don't give a fuck who you are.
You're telling me.
I'm saying Brian DiMartino and what is it? The guys who made Avatar. If Brian DiMartino asked me for $100 to shake his hand, I would he'd wake up on the floor. I will say
I will say it depends. It depends for me. Anime voice actors, not so much. Creators and like comic book artists,
they're shutting the kids out, dude, and I think that's fucked up.
Good.
No, that's what the cons are for. I'm there as an older guy, but I'm like, this isn't for me with my fucking like American Express card and like my trunk that I can just load up with bullshit. This is for like the jits who are, you know.
You use jits again?
Yeah, dude. I'm just.
That is not your word.
It's what bothers me about like Logan Paul and them getting into like Pokemon cards.
That was the biggest mistake to happen in Pokemon.
It's like all of this shit. It's these fucking man children. And when I'm at a con and you're charging $100 to like talk to the voice actor of fucking what's a fucking bullshit show? When the voice actor of Shaman King,
I've never seen that,
is there pretending he has any significance beyond the fact that he was there when you were a kid. He wasn't the best. He wasn't your favorite flavor of ice cream. He was just what your dad got you after soccer practice. And he tries to charge you a fucking $100 to say hello to him or some shit. These people need to be brought down a peg.
I will say, especially when you know, like if you know what caliber you're at, you could probably do that. I think. But it also depends on how important the anime is to you, right? Because there are certain anime that people are like, oh, I would pay $100 to see this person. Just like there's some people who wouldn't pay the amount of money you pay to see 2B, right?
If you are the guy who drew the frame of Levi's sword entering the Beast Titan's neck, I might give you $1,000 for that frame.
They probably need it.
Blown up. You blow that frame up to 3x2, I might give you $1,000 for that fucking thing. But if you are the person who said, yeah, when it happened, and like, come on, man, like, let's like really, you were the least hardest working person in this entire project.
I will say that, yeah. Yeah, Joe, I don't know why he was charging that, but that's crazy.
That fucked me up, dude. I was like, I wasn't even expecting to meet the cast of Yu-Gi-Oh! Today, and I did not meet them at all.
If Yugi was there, I would have probably paid. I would have probably paid to see him.
Well, Yugi and Kaiba... If Yugi, I'll tell you what. If Yugi was there, Joey would have been charging $20.
That's fair. Yeah, Joey Willard.
You got any wrap ups?
Bold Matsuri suggestions. Real swords next time. You notice how like the whole booth for the fake swords was completely full by the end of the con. Real swords next time.
Advertise the costume contest because if it was going on, I didn't hear about it.
It was 4:45 Sunday.
Come on, man.
I knew when it was.
We've had the cons have had this worked out like a well-oiled machine for forever. You hold the con till 8 o'clock at night. At 8 o'clock, you open the hall. A musical guest comes in, plays a bunch of anime music until 10 o'clock, and then the costumed rave begins. That is how every convention I've like literally ever gone to.
You go to
even the ones where I didn't go to the rave and shit. I'm just saying, there's always like a 10 o'clock costumed rave where everyone who bought a hotel for the con finds who they're gonna have sex with that night. And
I have never been involved in this.
And I was sort of flabbergasted that did not seem to even be in the cards.
You were disappointed in the lack of raves and...
The post-con rave is a necessity.
Yeah, so I actually did think there was going to be one, but...
You thought it was going to... Was there?
I thought there was going to be one, but there wasn't. And I was like, okay. Is there usually one at...
There's always one. There's always one at any good con.
I'm very passionate about this.
But I'm saying this is... I literally think this might be the first con I've been to where there wasn't one.
I think... You know what? I think My Hero Con had one. MegaCon always... MegaCon has like a few throughout the week. Or throughout the weekend.
It's just sort of like saying to any con, also, do you want to make like an extra $60,000 in alcohol sales? Just stay open an extra 3 hours. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, I mean, all these people are horned up. They're in costume, and
so I will say
they all have their parents' credit cards.
It might be because it's a smaller con, so their budget was probably a little less, so they couldn't really focus on stuff like that. That's my hypothesis.
Costume contest should have been a Saturday and a Sunday. One thing, I'm coming at this from like a been to these. I've been to cons that are well-oiled machines. Otakon operates...
So how old is Bold Matsuri? That's the question.
I don't know, but they need to fucking learn. But, all right. Any other wrap-ups, though?
I think I was going to look at the age of Bold Matsuri. Let's see. We're going to have the Welcome to NHK episode next week, hopefully.
There's no time on this show. The news show has time, but the review show is timeless.
The review show is timeless.
Yeah.
The review show is timeless. The review show is timeless.
Oh, yeah. I guess, oh, wait, we should put in all the boilerplate that we always forget to put in.
Oh,
this show is available wherever podcasts are had. You can listen to this show without ads by listening to the podcast with no YouTube chicanery.
Spotify at You Don't Love Giant Robots?
Yeah, that name should be available. I don't think anyone will.
If it's not...
then we are fucked.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Holy shit, we got nailed.
Yeah. YouTube at...
YouTube.com/You Don't Love Giant Robots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Instagram at To Be Determined.
Yeah, all the socials will be in the fucking links or whatever on the YouTube page. We need to hammer that stuff out over the long weekend. But yeah, Bold Matsuri-Con, overall a success, but not as much of a success as it could have been. Still looking forward to Wasabi-Con though, because honestly, Wasabi-Con last year was wonderful.
Was it? How much bigger did they utilize the whole space?
Yeah, Wasabi-Con used the entire convention hall. There was stuff happening in the hallway even.
Really?
There was like a DJ
That
in the
was,
hallway.
That was
there
like
was
my number one issue where it was cool, but it wasn't really that much going on.
There wasn't. It was just the main event
It was
hall.
more like a flea market.
Wasabi-Con took up the entire convention center, whereas Bold Matsuri was basically in the main hallway.
Okay.
Or like
That's
in the main
hallway.
Or like the main show space floor area thing.
Okay, that's a lot smaller than I thought.
But yeah. Bold Matsuri or Wasabi-Con was way bigger. Probably I'd say about 40% bigger, being very realistic.
Okay.
It had DJs in the hallway. It had like vendors in the hallway.
We have to plan a vlog for Wasabi-Con.
Yeah.
With interviews possibly.
Yeah, we'll interview some nerds. But that's in like October.
We got time.
Otherwise, share the show or whatever.
Like, subscribe, blow a kiss.
The show's literally not even out yet, so but tell
like,
people.
Subscribe, blow a kiss,
and
like and subscribe.
And that's it.
All right.